Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be covering HTML forms. This is phase 1 for that, and this is HTML crash course part 4. Alright then, what is HTML form? So before that, what are forms? Forms are used to get data from the user. That is basically forms. So we'll see some examples. Here we have an Airbnb, a sign up form. This is GitHub, a sign up form, or you can even have a sign in form here. Or here we have a search bar form. So these are all forms built in HTML. So forms are used to get data from the user. We have different type of data. This is a drop down. Let it be as it is. This is a number data input. And this is a Google sign in input. So when we click this, it prompts us with Google sign in. So you can select an account. I don't want to do that. This is email input, I guess. So I can sign into my GitHub account. And here I can type something like fishes, and it takes to me this web page. And then I can switch tabs and see different things here. So this is an input field, right? This is a button. This is an input field. This is an input. This is basically a form. Okay. This is an input field. This is a form as a whole. This is a separate input field. These are all separate input fields, and these in a whole is a form. Okay. So next up, we have a lot of things to learn in forms. Before that, what is a HTML form? So HTML form is basically any input fields inside a form tag. So that is HTML forms. Okay, so let's start coding. Over here I have forms.html in Sublime, and over here I have opened that in my browser. So I have a h1 stating forms.html. So I'll change this document into HTML forms. So if I save and if I refresh, you can see the change. Okay, let's start with our HTML forms. First, we need to create a form tag in which we have some input fields. We have two attributes here provided by Sublime's IntelliSense, I guess. So for now, let's just omit name. We'll come to the type attribute. This type actually says that what type of input it must be. So for now, I'm giving it as text. So if you save and if I refresh, you can see a text input. You can type out some text here. No worries. Then there's a problem here. The user will not know what to type here. So we need to provide some text to help them. For that, we have something called a placeholder text. What does it do, right? It actually creates a grade text here. When the user starts to type like this, the grade text disappears. So here I'll give user name. If I save and refresh, we get the placeholder text. By the way, I am using Control R to refresh. You can also do that. If that doesn't work, use Control F5 or plain F5. If that also doesn't work, please use the mouse to click the reload button. Okay, now when I start to type, the username placeholder text vanishes. That's it for placeholder. Then let's create more inputs. Okay, then I will have another input. I'll remove the type text and use email for now. So, and I'll go with a placeholder because that is really important. Okay then. So if I refresh, oops, we get an email input field. So what is the difference between this text and an email input field? Both are looking identical, right? When we actually submit the form, we can see the difference. But for now, let's just move on. We have another tag called label, which has a for attribute. We'll come to this later, but for now, we'll add username. So what happens now? What's going on here? So we have created a label for this input field. And the next thing we need to do is that associate this label with this input field. To do so, we need to provide an ID attribute here. So ID is going to be username. And for the input with an ID of username, we are going to provide this label. So that is the meaning of this. For the input with the ID of username here, which we have mentioned, and the ID of username, this input has the ID of username, we are going to provide this label to this input because it has the ID of username. Actually, ID is unique. Only one element in HTML can have one specific ID. Okay, if this has the main heading, none other element in this document can have here main heading. Okay, so if this has main form, none other element can have main form in this HTML document. So that's it for an ID. So if I save and refresh, if I click this username, this gets selected. So we can see that these both are associated. That's all. Okay. So there's another trick here. If I have an input tag in front of this, I'll remove this name attribute because this is actually not required, not for this video. And we're going to have same text. This is going to pop out. Can hit cancel. No worries. If I refresh, when I click this gets selected because these both are associated. So I'll remove this. Okay. So now I'm going to give a label here. Label I'm going to give for email, and I'm going to give an ID to this email. Okay. Going to be email. If I save, it's going to have a placeholder. Okay. I didn't give any text here, so let me give email. Okay, now fine. So let's give a BR tag here so that this element goes to the next line. So BR actually usually breaks the line. You can have another BR, which actually makes the markup more neater. Okay then, so let's continue. We can have two BRs here, or just we'll copy and paste things for saving time because we have a lot to cover. So just remove this. Shortcut is Control D, but for now, just password. So here also we can select this and you can hit Control D. It's going to be password, and we save. Okay, I'll change the label here to password. So what's going on here? We have created a label for the password input. So the ID here is password, both matches, so these both get associated. Type is password and placeholder text is going to be password. If I save and if I refresh, we get a password input. Select, and if I start to type, the text vanishes. So this is the really specialty of password input. Email, it actually adds certain validities. So for that purposes, we add email, type email. Okay, so this adds some validity. We will see that shortly. So we can add some BR. And we can, next type of input is going to be submit. And we can give a placeholder text for it. We go. And it's going to refresh and it's going to be submit. Okay, the placeholder text doesn't work. We can give a value to it. We'll learn value in the next video, but generally it's actually a value the text which is going to be given here. So okay, we can see go. When we hit go, what happened? The page refreshes. Why it's happening so? This happens because the form is being submitted to the same page. So that's why this happens. We can actually validate that form with JavaScript, and we can send the data which we get in this form through PHP or through Node.js, okay, to a database. Or we can react to the data entered here and serve up a new web page as per that data. That can be done with the help of PHP, Node.js, Java, Ruby on Rails, and many more. But for now, we don't have to worry about that. And there's certain validations here. I'll just click a random email, and now if I type some random and if I hit go, and there's a validation here. Please include an @ sign. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing something like this. And now when I hit go, it accepts it. Okay, so that is the basics of submit. And what happens when the form submits? It actually refreshes the page. So that's it for submit. When we hit enter too, the form gets submitted. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, I'll have some more BR. And another thing you need to learn here is a couple of BR and select thing. Okay, select name for now. Okay, we don't want. We can add a label here. Okay, label for can have pick month. This is called Camel Case. So we can use this in JavaScript for now. I'll just explain it in a little bit. So Camel Case is in the sense when we combine 2 or 3 words together like this without a space, we need to use Camel Case. That is the convention. Okay. So the first letter of the first word will be in small case. The first word in whole would be a small case. But from the second word, the first letter would be in uppercase. For now, first month, pick your month. So here we have 3 words, pick your month. For the first word, the first letter is small, but in the second and third and consecutive words should be large in a capital form. So I don't want your month here. I just want pick month here. Okay. So I'm going to do the same for ID so that it would match. I'll give a label, pick your birth month. Okay. So there's another tag you need to learn, option. Okay. Option. So before I should mention, these are all inline elements. Okay. Not a block element. That's why we are using double BR first to push the content to the next line, then to leave a line. So that's what happened. That's what is happening here. Okay. Next value for now, just leave it. No need. You can give multiple options. So I can just copy this thing, paste it. Oh, what happened here? Okay. I'll again copy this whole thing. Have 2, 3, 4. For now we have 5 and we can use them. Then we can have Feb, if I can spell it right. Then we can have March, April, and May. I guess May, and that's fine. Okay. So if we refresh, we get a month picker. You can actually pick months. Okay. April, May. But the best practice here is having an option. No need value at all. Okay. Option with called double dash month double dash. If I save, if I refresh, yeah, this is a goal, right? Select the month. Okay. Okay, then the next thing, I guess the last thing for this video is going to be a text area. So label again for dummy. Oh, Okay, bio. Okay, bio. Enter your bio. It's gonna be a big thing. You're gonna learn it now. Oh, text area. Okay, now name as usual. No need. ID, it's gonna be bio because we are gonna link to this thing. Calls and rows, it's gonna be number of columns and number of rows. If we save this for now, let's see what is it. We're getting this big bio. Okay, let's add some BR. Save, and if I now refresh, and now this is little nasty here. Okay then, so let's copy this and we're gonna add it here. Okay, now this looks a little better. Okay, so what is happening? I'll just drag this a little bit here. Okay, so that I can scroll it. Okay then, so this creates a bigger input. When we are typing some essay or some feedback, we need to get some big input space. This is not enough. Okay, so this is for just one liner or one word like our username or an email or password. But when we are typing some feedback, we need this big thing. So we can specify the rows and calls. If I reduce this to 10, I get something like a box. Okay, if I refresh, we can see a box. Okay, so this is fine. Something like a thing. Okay, so you can increase this to 19. Okay, that's a random number. I don't know why did I choose that. Okay, this is gonna be less than that. Rows is gonna be 4. 4 rows is enough. Calls I don't want to add. Rows itself is enough. Calls, I guess it's gonna be 30 for the default. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, and the user can drag how much ever he or she wants. But when he or she refreshes, it comes to the normal size. So you can mention calls. Okay. Before mention, we can have 30, and that's the best number, I guess. Yeah, this is good. The user, if he or she wants, he or she can drag this and change the size, and we can type multiple things here, multiple forms. So I'll remove the caps. Okay, just gibberish, and this gets extended. That's also cool, right? So we can pull like this. We can do anything. So this is a text area. Okay then, that's it, I guess, for this video because this is a lot. I'll provide this code in the code pen so you can take that code and play around. Okay, before I leave, I can introduce another thing. Type of, it's going to be the type color. So we are going to make a custom color picker, not a custom color picker, default inbuilt color picker. Okay, so if I refresh, and this is cool, right? You're able to pick a color, select RGB, which change with RGB 12, and it's going to be 01. No, not 0112. I want 244. It's going to be really ready. It's going to be 230, 2031. Oh, that's nice. It's nice, right? Now we can change the RGB values. Okay. This is cool color. And we can change to HSL, hex code. We'll learn these things in CSS series. I'll surely make a CSS series. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this and we'll meet in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like. If you want to share to others, go ahead and share to others. If you want more videos like this, you can subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for the next video.